Welcome back to MCOC Al Bundy Rules. I got the October 2021 event quest, Cavalier Difficulty, Chapter 2, Quest number 2. As I do every month, do a walkthrough for all 6 quests. And now we have the Mystic Attacker fills a bar of power, passive prowess, increasing special attack by 80% for 15 seconds, nullifying a buff from defender, converts into a temporary prowess, into a permanent. When defender activates a special, they gain a stun immunity for 6 seconds, plus 2 seconds for each defender's unique buffs. It's paused during defender's special attacks, meaning once the defender launches a special, be careful, because if you try to do a parry stun, you're going to not be successful and probably take some punishment. Big things here for these nodes. You want to use mystics, and preferably you want mystics who can nullify buffs, because that's going to help you build up your prowess a lot easier for the fight. So you will see my team is heavily focused on the mystic sides, and a lot of ones who can nullify, because I should be, after a bunch of nullifies, I should be able to get into some pretty dang good damage. I'm going to go and start off with Dr. Voodoo, who, if you have watched my channel a decent amount, you'll know he is one of my OG favorite champs, and even though he's an older, was my first R5 5-star, he's still one of my favorites. You'll see he's already doing 6,200 tick per damage, which is about 12,500 damage per second. He did up the poisons right off the get-go. Some people say he's outdated, not useful. I say they're insane. I'm not going to say he's great for everything, but I am going to say the prowess weren't even built up yet. He was doing that damage. He can do some pretty dang good stuff, especially in certain fights, and this fight is already over, and he completely dominated. Those who say he's not useful, I say, yeah, why? Oh, use him correctly or in the areas where he benefits, which all champs have areas where they shine the best, right? Any champ can look, most champs can look amazing in certain content and situations, and many can look very bad in certain situations. So let's go to Dr. Doom now. I'm going back-to-back doctors, Dr. Voodoo to Dr. Doom, the Doctor Tag Teams. Going to go ahead and take a look at this Punisher again. Going to be those nullifies can help me convert temporary prowess. As we see, they will remove and turn them into permanents. Looks like I got 2 permanent now. We see that Punisher 2099 doing some dexing on me. Got that long-winded heavy. Watch out for that. Easy to get caught up on that sometimes. Looking at my prowess count. Do a little bit of backhand. I did. Oh, you know what? I always forget on Punisher on the power drain thing. You get 3. I haven't fought Punisher 2099, and a lot of these champs I do really good, learn very well, do tutorials on them, but then you stop using them. There's so many champs, fighting them, playing them, memorizing abilities, new ones come out, buffs come out, and trying to remember who does what gets very hard to remember every single one. So I made a mistake when I thought I was doing an S3 and ended up doing an S2 right into a block, but that's okay. And go ahead and block that special, starting to get a little bit of damage as I give him another backhand right across the side of his face. Punisher getting punished with those backhand slaps. Boom, chuck luck. Oh, and I did the same thing again. Force of habit. I mean, I knew that was going to happen, and I did it again. Right into the block. That's okay. At least there was a shot going on, so I could backhand him before I got punished by the Punisher. Punisher got punished by my backhands like a little punk. Now it is time to do another Dr. Doom, so back-to-back fights with doctors. And the Dr. Voodoo I've used, the Dr. Doom I use. Now I'm by the Dr. Doom. So lots of docs going on. Is there a doctor in the MCOC? Okie dokie. Now I'm bringing in big old Man-Gog. I just brought him in for fun. I figured I'd give him a try. I enjoy him. He takes a little bit of build up. I think that this should be... took that. Missed. Oh, wow. Accidentally took the special that took a backhand. Well, I was making fun of Punisher getting backhand. Now I'm getting slapped upside my face. So I guess that's a little bit of karma for me, my big Man-Gog boy. So I like to bring you some different champs here. This is just all the usuals kind of focus. I decided to bring in Man-Gog, and right now all he's doing is getting backhanded. That's not the big dude's fault. This is my fault. I doing some really bad play here. So, unfortunately, I'm making him look bad. I feel bad. Man-Gog, I was hoping I could help you make you shine because I believe you're an underrated champ. I got a nice tutorial on you, how to use you. I think he's a good champ once you get him going. Unfortunately, I'm making him look like his reputation, which isn't overly great. But now he's mad. Now he got the fire eyes. Now he got big. I'm a Man-Gog. There he goes, and now let's charge this up, and let's do, and I completely forgot about he can't get knocked down. Afterward, that was still active, so I gave him some damage, but I got knocked the heck out, so I'm sorry, Man-Gog, I made you look bad, dude. I made you look bad, buddy. That's okay. Let's break out. Let's do some Doctor Doom versus Doctor Doom going on. What's Doctor Doom got to do with it? And, of course, the shocks. So, I was just getting embarrassed by those shocks and backhands in the last fight. I don't know what was going on, but that was just kind of humbling, embarrassing. You would think I had never fought a Doctor Doom before. Anyway, that's okay. So, to avoid being overly embarrassed again, hopefully, anyways, I brought in my Doctor Doom voice on the shock community that is going to keep me from getting those stun backhandeds on such a frequent basis. Man-Gog just got slapped around. I probably deserved it after talking so much smack about Punisher 99 getting backhanded around by Doctor Doom. Yeah, I deserved it. It's all good. But now on the good side, we do have Doctor Doom blasting Doctor Doom in the Doctor Doom's castle. That's some cool stuff there, isn't it? Yeah, sure. Let's go on to this dude, Annihilus. For some reason, I just want to like roll my S's when I say his last name, like he's a sim. Annihilus. That's okay. I'm bringing in my Claire Bear for this fight. I believe she should be good. I should be able to do some nullifies going on. Should be able to handle the business. Made a little mistake on the Unstoppable, but that's no big. Another Unstoppable. Don't want to make that same mistake again. And watching out for the timer. One of the things with so many champs in the game now, so many big abilities, is you don't fight champs as often as you used to. Back in the days, you would fight like the same champs over and over and just memorize everything. Now there's so many, you kind of forget. By the time I haven't fought an Annihilus in a while, they kind of forget certain things. If you don't fight them all the time, or if you don't use them all the time, kind of forget little things. You don't fight them all the time, forget about little abilities, and there I just got completely intercepted. Ugh, that's okay. It's okay. I can get my health back there with my good old lifesteal. You wouldn't even know I made a few mistakes this fight because Claire did what she does. She's back at some decent health and finished that fight. Good job, Claire. You rocking and rolling. And I'm using my 5-star Claire. I do have an R3 6-star Claire, but I try to avoid bringing in my super high top champs into these, so I usually leave out my R3s. Got some lag going on, so I'm going to hook this up so I don't have to wait while the lag is going. I'm going to edit out a big chunk of the lag, and there we go. We see a little red doohickey, so a little bit of an edit, and we're going back to business. I had to go ahead and shit out a bit. Oh, let me edit some more out. And you got a little ramble. Listen to me ramble myself in between edits. I had to do a couple was back and forth lag. I just edited out about 4 minutes of lag in 3 different cuts, by the way. It kept kicking me out and bringing me back. So if you hear some weird voices, it's because my voices were being recorded in between edits. Anyway, who cares about my silly ram? What we care about is we brought back in for like another fight, another Dr. Voodoo. We saw him completely go ballistic on Groot in the first fight, mainly because he took advantage of all those buffs. He was doing, was it like 13,000 damage per second or something on the poisons. It won't be quite the same in this fight because Cyclops is not a buff heavy champ. But even with not the buff heavy champ, he's still going to do very well. I'm going to go ahead and fight this a little differently. Instead of focusing right away on my poisons, I went ahead and started off working on the power control. Then I'm going to start doing poisons as I get those LOAs up. I won't have a bunch of natural buffs like to take advantage of an exploit like on the Groot fight, but I can get those LOAs, although the LOAs are slow stacking in this fight for some reason. Sometimes they just stack like crazy, and sometimes they just say, yeah, we don't want to stack. You don't need that poison damage. And anyways, we're getting some fun going on. I've also got a little bit of prowess going on. Parry that kick and finish him off. So even on a non-buff heavy fight, Dr. Voodoo still showed he knows how to rock and roll. Yeah, he do. And now, did the Groot earlier, now we got King Groot. When are they going to bring in Baby Groot? Let's just add to the whole Groot family. Maybe a teenager Groot in there. Yeah, Groot him up. I do want to see a Baby Groot, though. That's to be like, don't push the button scene. Then he does push the button and pow! Something like that. And I decided I could have probably made a different choice. I decided to bring my Claire Bear back in. And I can exploit different immunities on him if I want, but I also don't like to worry too much about a lot of times when there's immunity, I might do some parry heavy strategy with Claire. I decided not to deal with that now because parrying King Groot doesn't always overly effective or reliable. And I'm going to try to bait out these S1s. My goal is bait out S1s because that can make it a little bit easier as far as when it comes to the specials, Dextine. Remember the stun immunity, but I was able to nullify that right away, and I did some pretty nice damage on that special too after I nullified. The good thing about these nullified champs, some of them anyways, I can nullify once they get those stun immunities. And now we're already at the boss. Yeah. Symbiote Supreme. Power alternator every 15 seconds. Attacker has more power than defender. Both champions passively power drain. Amount of power is equal to the amount drained. This node is not affected by ability. So you don't want to have more power when the timer goes down. Prey on the weak. Defender again 3% max power. The buff is nullified. Be careful of that. Moth to the flame. One feather charge landing a basic attack. Charges fall off one at a time. Attacker is far away from defender. Every time attacker launches special, up to 10 are used. Each granting fury, increasing attack by 10% for 10 seconds. If 0 remain, degeneration, 50% of defender's attack. So be careful that you don't want that to hit 0. Critical eye, defender against unblockable charge when the crit. Make the next attack unblockable. So when into my crit, unblockable. You could do a champ that doesn't do crits like a Guardian 99, a Guardian or a Gillian 99. But so be careful of unblockables and power draw. When the attacker inflicts the defender with a damage and debuff, the attacker is granted power buff, increasing defender's combat power by 10%. So you're gonna have to be careful about power. You're gonna have to worry about the buffs. Gonna have to worry about crits. Lots of things going on. I feel like I have to speed read through all these notes. I mean, we'll talk about an essay right there. Well, based on the advantage that is gained from the buffs on the Sim Supreme, I decided I was debating if I wanted to bring a champ that did not crit, such as the Guillotine 2099 or a Guardian, or if I wanted to bring in a champ that didn't get buffs like a Red Guardian. So I decided to try with the Red Guardian and see how this goes. That way I don't have to deal with the nodes that will punish me for the buffs. We do see I have those charges up there on the 25. Remember, if they hit 0, I will take some good amounts of damage, so I do have to be careful. Staying away makes it, you see the charges going off up there. So got to get close to keep them going again. Remember, when I use specials, they're my shield fractured right there as I took my shield saved me from some extra damage. You see how those unblockables, remember, every time I crit, oh, dang, I messed up there. Anytime I crit, unblockable, and we're seeing that's happening a lot regarding even like a massive crit champ or nothing, but we are seeing that. However, despite all this, he is working very good. You just got to be careful with those unblockables, which has been the most challenging part of this, but Red Guardian and using a champ that doesn't gain buffs like him has been very effective for the most part. I had to play Red Guardian a little different than I normally would, mainly because of the fact that the Sim keeps going, oh man, I thought I was gonna solo him, and he just switched to S2, and I got S2 intercepted. Son of a gun, it should have been a solo. But you saw that work. So my strategy, using someone like a Red Guardian worked. Also, like I said, if you didn't want to deal with that, if you wanted to use a champ that doesn't crit, that would probably make it, actually, that would probably be a better choice because you want to be dealing with those non-stop unblockables going on. I might try that next time through. I'll probably revisit this fight with a champ that doesn't crit and see. I'll be willing to bet that will work a little smoother. In the meantime, Doom finishes it off. Wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad. Little mistake on my side, kept away from the solo, but no biggie, no biggie. So this was the October 2021 Event Quest walkthrough that I do every single month in my playlist. Put the new ones in there, take out the old months, and this was Chapter 2, Quest 2, so 2.2 Cavalier. Be sure to make sure to subscribe. Click that top left icon to subscribe to MCOC All Bundy Rules. Turn those notifications on. Remember, every month I do these walkthroughs, new story content will walkthroughs. I do champ tutorials, tips and tricks, strategies, massive damage highlights, hidden synergies. I do a little something for everyone. Everyone got to like some of this stuff. Thanks again for watching.